It seems like you're taking like an extreme might makes right kind of position here, but you could
geopolitically that's how it works. Yes, and right doesn't mean morally. It just means
no. I understand.
Right. Yeah.
But you could use that same rationale to do the same thing in probably a dozen other countries that are in our.
But we wouldn't want to do that because the only time we should be interceding in global events is if it has a tangible benefit to America. That's why Syria. That's why Libya was a total disaster. Libya was a complete disaster in 2011, toppling Gaddafi. We spent a bunch of time, a bunch of money, and then it hurt Europe tremendously.
So if it's a country that we can easily usurp and take their resources, should we do that in every case?
It depends on the geopolitical implications. Like who are their allies?
We benefit from it.
It's almost always going to be cheaper to buy their stuff.
No, but I'm asking, should we, right? Because you're saying we should have done this. We ought to have done this.
To buy them.
Well, no, I'm saying
if it's cheaper to buy it, then we just buy it.
But if it's not cheaper, should we do this to other countries?
How badly do we need it? I mean, is it like unobtainium or is it like that whale?
Let's just say they have.
If we have to kidnap another president from
depends what they're doing with the oil
Nicaragua.
Reserves, and it depends on in Venezuela's case. I like this because I didn't want China moving missiles and Russia moving missiles into Venezuela and having another Cuban Missile Crisis. And that place has like the largest oil and gold reserves on the planet. It's 500 miles from Puerto Rico. We call dibs. And that's just going to be the way things are.
That seems like
I don't like the Greenland thing because what they're talking about is annexing and making it ours. And there's 30,000 people there who don't want that. And it's their home. And I don't like that at all. I do recognize the strategic and resource reasons for taking it. But I wouldn't vote for, or if I was on a cabinet, with Trump, I wouldn't speak up for the taking annexing of Greenland. I don't like that at all.
I'd rather have the Panama Canal.
Not just because of right and wrong. And just to be clear, it would be wrong, morally speaking, and just put yourself in a black space and say, is this right or wrong? It's wrong. It's wrong. It's theirs. We're stronger than we can take it. We're not bullies on a playground. Don't act like that for no reason. The real problem is beyond the right and wrong is it would break up NATO. I don't know what the rest of NATO would do. And as much as I don't like NATO, I do recognize that we're in a position where Russia's already at war with Ukraine. China clearly is slobbering at the mouth for Taiwan. If Russia is swept down through Lithuania at the same time China swept and embargoed Taiwan, we'd be stretched. We'd be fighting wars on two sides of the planet. That would be a real problem. And then a NATO that we're not coordinating with and working hand in hand with is going to just exacerbate that and make that a big loss, mostly for Europe. Mostly for Europe and Taiwan. I mean, we're all the way over here, obviously.
Do you like, Hutch, that the Venezuela thing is detrimental to China's aspirations towards Taiwan?
Do I like it? I mean,
yeah, of course. They're our enemy.
Well, I mean,
I'll have to recognize that.
I think we have to think about I think there's a little bit of myopia going on here, guys, like a lack of imagination because things are, I mean, it went swimmingly, right? Like the transition, new vice president, but you guys aren't imagining a situation where the situation in Venezuela and the broader Latin America region really becomes totally destabilized. You mentioned like a migrant crisis.
Let me ask you what you mean by that.
Threat.
Like, are you talking about like
migrant crisis
becoming an insurgency? Like there being an insurgency of
yeah,
like
you inspire a kind of anti-West, anti-imperialism kind of movement. I mean, we've seen that happen literally already. Like
it didn't happen in 1990
times.
It didn't happen when Biden.
When I say we're doing the wrong thing, it's partly just from you want to be a good person in a good country, but also if you're a bad person or a bad country, then you get what's coming to you eventually. The entire world lines up against you. You find yourself isolated and with no friends. Acting like this to Venezuela and then making a habit out of that, you'll find yourself all alone.
Did we harm Venezuela?
Everybody at once.
We helped Venezuela.
Let's wait. We don't know yet.
But wait, this feels like kind of like a mission accomplished moment. I mean, like they were saying the exact same thing.
Oh, no, certainly not.
They were saying the exact same thing because we rolled through Iraq the second time way easier.
Do you think Iraq and Venezuela are similar?
I didn't say that. It's a different situation.
Like I said, the government
different situation because
one of them is now the president.
One of them, we're going into a country in Iraq that never has had a democracy ever. And there's 3 warring ethno-religious conflicts where they're trying to genocide each other for 2,000 years. They are totally unprepared for even the concept of democracy. They don't want it. They don't need it. They spit in it. Venezuela, on the other hand, is very familiar with democracy. It's a largely homogenous, I believe, Catholic culture there. And they are all stoked, or the vast majority, the super majority, are stoked that this douchebag who reduced their GDP from 300 and something billion in 2010 to 110 billion.
Yeah, he caused
a ton of problems. He was a terrible guy.
Right? You have this oil-rich country that you're invading who's cozying up to people who weren't friends of ours. So we're going to go in there. We're going to decapitate the leader. We're going to take the oil. It's going to be great for America. Really? Let's wait and see.
We didn't take the oil in Iraq.
Yeah, I know. This feels like a mission accomplished moment yet again. It is early to plant your flag and act like you won.
Sure. So I've said before, it all depends on the outcome. What would be the
scenario where things would go wrong? Because what you would need is the country to literally fall into an Iraqi-style insurgency because what they're going to do is they're making nice with the new president of Venezuela, who is now in power unjustly, if you ask me, because Maduro's opponent got 80% of the vote. 80%. Think about that. This is a guy who only 20% of the population voted for. They're definitely 80% of the population is definitely stoked we took this guy away. But what they really want is that lady who ran against him to be the president, because she won the fucking last election. They should have new elections stat. That's the right thing to do. But what we're going to do is we're going to puppet that vice president bitch, and she's not going to physically be able to export oil because the United States Navy is filling the Caribbean. And I'll tell you another thing Trump did today. Taco Trump took that fucking Russian tanker right in front of a Russian submarine, naval cuckoldry, like called Russia's bluff, and they just stole that boat and they're bringing it back. And it's I liked that because you don't see him stand up to Putin nearly enough, or Russia nearly enough.
I do like that.
I kind of feel like he's eager to change the narrative. He had a rough few months, Donald Trump did, and I feel like this is like his moment to try to shift that narrative around. The Epstein stuff was not going well for him. I think some of that is overstated, but it really was not going well for him.
This is where I straddle the stream of political discourse, and I feel like give some credence to my more extreme right-wing policies and beliefs and ideals, because Trump's clearly a pedophile trying to get the news off the fact that Trump's a pedophile, and they keep doctoring Epstein documents. And I'm on board with all that. You just have to put everything he does in this little vacuum sealed bubble, though, and judge it on its own merits.
You got to go
how it benefits us.
Just because I agree with the left more often than you do, I also feel like I look at everything individually. When Doge came along, I was excited. I was like, you know what? Let's find that inefficiency. Let's find that waste. Let's find that fraud. There are plenty of things Trump has done where I'm like, all right, let's see how this plays out. I mean, I'm watching. It rarely has it played out well, but I, just like you, feel like I look at all these things in a vacuum. Some things are good, some things are bad.
Yeah, I'm not going to carry his water, but I'm not out to get him necessarily on something and make it something it's not. Here's 2 headlines. I just linked one of them.
Yeah.
This other clip is in Honduras. Congresswoman, this is a Honduran Congresswoman, Gladys Aurora Lopez was struck with an explosive device at the Congress in Honduras. It looks like somebody threw a firebomb over the balcony.
She's the vice president of the National Congress of Honduras. I don't really know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah.
Somebody threw a firebomb at her. That was pretty cool. Never seen that happen.
How hurt is she?
She's alive, minor scratches, and a possible skull fracture.
That seems all over the board. Some minor scratches and a skull fracture.
Minor scratch and a broken bone.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm getting my news from Fish. I apologize. He's not that most reliable sources, I guess. Yeah, I hope it goes well in Venezuela. I'm all about America first in like almost every decision. I don't want to be the evil dictatorship bad guys, but I'm also very comfortable not being squeaky clean, because nobody plays by the rules when they're superpowers. They all bend the rules, and if we don't bend them a little, I feel like we're just going to continue to fall behind when there's 1.5 billion Chinese and only 320 million of us, and less every day, Taylor, since you've started kicking out our proud Somalis, our wonderful Somalis.